Hello again, and welcome back to Dracula, but in Baltimore, and a fish tank. We are reading a cutting from the Annapolis Evening Capital, dated 9 August, and it says later. By the kindness of the Board of Trade Inspector, I have been permitted to look over the logbook of the Demeter, which was in order up to within 3 days, but contained nothing of special interest except as to facts of missing men. The greater interest, however, is with regard to the paper found in the bottle, which was today produced at the inquest, and a more strange narrative than the two between them unfold it has not been my lot to come across. As there is no motive for concealment, I am permitted to use them, and accordingly send you a rescript, simply omitting technical details of seamanship and supercargo. It almost seems as though the captain had been seized with some kind of mania before he had got well into blue water, and that this had developed persistently throughout the voyage. Of course, my statement must be taken cum grano, since I am writing from the dictation of clerk of the Russian consul, who kindly translated for me, time being short. And then it says log of the Demeter, and it has all of the entries to the log of the Demeter that we have already read. So I'm going to skip past them until we get to the reporter speaking again, after the poor captain says, God and the Blessed Virgin and the saints help a poor ignorant soul trying to do his duty. Of course the verdict was an open one. There is no evidence to adduce, and whether or not the man himself committed the murders, there is now none to say. The folk hold almost universally here that the captain is simply a hero, and he is to be given a public funeral. Well, that's nice. I'm glad that they don't think he killed everybody. Already it is arranged that his body is to be taken with a train of boats up the Severn for a piece, and then brought back to Tate Hill Pier and up the Abbey steps, for he is to be buried in the churchyard on the cliff. The owners of more than 100 boats have already given in their names as wishing to follow him to the grave. No trace has ever been found of the great dog, at which there is much mourning, for with public opinion in its present state, he would, I believe, be adopted by the town. Tomorrow we'll see the funeral, and so we'll end this one more mystery of the sea. And that is the last of that cutting from the newspaper. Mysteriouser and mysteriouser, as Alice said. Thank you so much for joining me, and we hope to see you again very soon.